These photos were all taken with smartphone cameras, all different makes and models, some of them pretty old, but it wasn't having the best phone with the best camera that enabled them to take these. The thing that made the difference in every single one of these photos is something you can do in 10 minutes in the comfort of your own home before you go out. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that is so you never waste your time and you can take an amazing picture of the Milky Way with your phone this summer. So you might have had a go at photographing the Milky Way or a starry night sky with your phone and come back with a result which was pretty disappointing. I know I have, I've done it plenty of times. If you're just out, you see the stars, you see a sky, perhaps you're in a nice location, you think, I want to try and photograph that. More often than not, the result you get might be quite disappointing if you're not following a few basic steps. There are a number of things that can go wrong. The shooting settings, the editing and processing after. But before you even get to the point of being out shooting, it's essential that you do a little bit of planning and research to make sure the conditions are right, and that makes a huge difference in what you can expect from your photo. All the photos you see in this video were entered into the Skies and Scopes Smartphone Astrophotographer of the Year competition, and the key factor over everything else was planning. It definitely wasn't because they had the best phone. You need to get the timing right and you need to be in the right location to get these kind of shots, and that's what these photographers nailed. The good news is it's relatively easy to learn this, and I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process right now. It'll make the world of difference to what you end up with in terms of your photos, and you will be able to find a place and a time in the near future where this all lines up for you. So the first thing is timing. When you choose to go out makes a huge difference. There are three main things to consider here: the moon phase, the weather, and the position and timing of the Milky Way. With the moon phase, you probably already know that the moon goes through a monthly cycle of full moon when it's at its brightest to 2 weeks later a new moon when it's at its darkest. The problem with a bright moon, a full moon, is that it lightens the whole sky and it stops the stars from showing through, and it means you are much less able to photograph them. Therefore, you want to be out shooting as close to a new moon as possible. This is when the sky is darkest and the most stars will be visible and able to capture. It's pretty easy to look up the moon phase. You can just Google it, or you can use an app that I recommend called Clear Outside. It'll tell you exactly the moon phase timing for you. Although the night of the new moon is the best night to go out, it doesn't mean that there's only one night per month where you should be doing this. The skies before and after will be dark as well. So I always say 4 days before, 4 days after. That gives you a 9-day window every month where you're going to get pretty dark skies that are going to be enough for you to find a night which is right for you and your life, and you can go out and give it a shot. The next thing is the weather. You need the skies to be clear and cloud free, otherwise it will block the stars again. So once you have your 9-day window, you can start checking the weather to see when it might be a good night for you to be going out. Whatever standard weather app you use on your phone should give you a good indicator. But again, the app I mentioned earlier, Clear Outside, is a really good free app for iPhones and for Android phones. It does an hour-by-hour breakdown of cloud cover, so it can really help you get that timing right. The next aspect of timing is the time of the year, the season. The summer months of June, July, August are peak Milky Way season, when it is best positioned in the sky for the longest period and it gives you the best opportunity to photograph it. Outside of those 3 peak months, the months before it, March to May, are good, and September and October also give you good opportunities. They're just not quite the peak. And then the last aspect of timing is knowing when and where the Milky Way will be in the right position for you to go out and photograph it, because you won't be able to see it with your naked eyes unless you are very lucky to be in somewhere extremely remote with very dark skies. The easiest way to check this is with a free tool called Stellarium. There's a website or there is an app you go on your phone. What you do is you change the location to where you are, you then change the date to where you're going to be potentially going out. You then go through the night and you find the direction in the night sky where the Milky Way core is going to be, and you find the timing when you're going to be out. So you can see here, I'm looking at July the 14th, which is a new moon. I can see that from near where I live, the Milky Way will be in the southern sky and best positioned between midnight and 2 a.m. when it highlights the dark night period as well. The next thing that's a factor is where you're going to shoot from. The lights from towns and cities brighten the sky and has the same effect of a bright moon of washing out the stars. You need to find a location that has as low a light pollution that you can reach to give you the best shot. An easy way to check this is with a free light pollution map. Just Google light pollution map, then zoom into where you live or where you might be shooting from if you're traveling, and then click and it will tell you the light pollution level on the Bortle scale of what you are. So the Bortle scale is a ranking of light pollution from 1, the absolute best, extremely remote super dark skies, to 9, the very worst in the middle of a big city. You want to be able to find somewhere which is ideally 4, Bortle, possibly 5 should still be okay to get the result you want. Above 6, it's going to be really difficult. I'm looking here at Denver in Colorado, the US. If I click right in the middle, it says Bortle 7, too high. If I check the outskirts, it's down to 5, much better. If I can get out further into these national park areas, you're looking down at Bortle 3 or 4, which is awesome. So you need to do that for where you are or where you're going to be. Find a location that you can realistically and safely get to on your chosen night, and then make a plan for how you're going to get there and back. So those are the key steps to planning. If you don't do this, you are literally and figuratively shooting in the dark and giving yourself a much more random chance of whether you're going to be able to get the result you want. A little bit of pre-prep, a little bit of work makes a massive difference and makes a much bigger difference than having the latest and greatest smartphone with the best camera. Beyond the planning, the other main steps are of course the shooting and then any editing you might want to do afterwards. Getting these right won't save a bad night if you don't do the planning steps first, but they are really important to get right and make sure you're not wasting your time. If you want the full step-by-step process from beginning to end, including planning, shooting, processing, everything, check out the link below to my smartphone Milky Way blueprint. That takes you through in under 60 minutes, all of these steps broken down into very small chunks, and takes you from complete beginner, having never taken a night sky shot with your phone, to being able to realistically expect getting a really great Milky Way shot. You can use the phone you have. All the tools and apps used are free and everything is done on your phone, even the processing steps, which are pretty simple. Remember, the summer months are your best opportunity. They are precious. Don't waste them. Don't waste another year wishing you could do this. Give it a go. If you do want more right now, check out this video here where I go through how to access your phone's best night sky shooting mode. Thank you.